Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Gemini in early to mid-November? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in early to mid-November. Let's get it going. What's the vibe? There we go. Cool. So I like this card. I haven't seen it in quite a while, and it's kind of hard to make out what this person is, but it's actually a guardian angel. You see the wings sprouting from behind them. There's a lot of themes that connect with this: manifesting, creation, protection. So there's a lot of great stuff here. But of course, as with everything, there's layers. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this individual. So as you can see in the image, we have this guy. He's bald headed. He has the Vitruvian Man tattooed on his head, big wings popping out, looking at that baby, looking at that creation. So first and foremost, huge card of spiritual protection, spirit watching over your guide, spirit team, ancestors. It's like, we're here, we're with you, we're watching. I always feel like energy like that is extremely soothing to me, especially when we see it on a collective level like this. So there's this beautiful protection, great for manifesting. So just know, I always say we're all creator beings. It depends on where our awareness is, but now the power to manifest and bring things in extra heightened. There could be manifestations on their way right now when this card is here, which is really a beautiful thing. But before we even get into that, this is also a card of focus. So what you're focused on or what you're not focused on. Maybe someone's focused on you, because notice that angel is watching over this person. So yeah, I don't want to creep anyone out, but when I see it, it's like, all right, well, either there's something you need to pay attention to, keep your eye on it, or maybe someone's got you under the microscope. All of that can be true at the same time. But normally I feel like this is more of a protective card as well. So we're just going to let him chill right there. Do not disturb. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Gemini. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It felt very chatty to me. There was a lot of chit chat. There was a lot of talking. And the reading was titled "They Are Gossiping." So again, whether it was people gossiping towards you, about someone else, it just felt like very chatty. And a big message that came through was just watch what you tell people, watch the information you share. It was very particular and peculiar. It felt like I was doing it personal. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Gemini. What do we got in early to mid-November? Thank you. Temperance. All right, cool. So yeah, another guardian angel, more protective energy. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Really like this. Temperance is big Saggy energy too, which is always important for Gemini, because that's the sign that's straight across the zodiac from you. Let's get 2 more. Okay, I saw this in the Saggy reading. Okay, we got the 5 of Wands right here in the center. We're going to take a cold, hard look at that. That's for sure. Let's get one more out here. Lots of fiery energy. Nothing wrong with that, especially for Gemini. 5 of Cups. Okay. Lots of 5s. Lots of shifting energy. Yeah, even if the energy is not easy right now, there's like this beautiful protection around you. I could tell you that. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. So we're going to start there. Lots of fire here, right? With Archangel Michael and the 5 of Wands right next to it. So fire energy to me is the realm of action. The things we do, the things other people do. It also represents passion, drive, desire, all that stuff. It's just really combustible, usually in a good way. It's great for action. It's great for forward movement and momentum. But at the same time, I always say when there's a lot of fire, this energy could spin a little out of hand. It could be a little volatile. It can be explosive. But we're not going to get all freaked out about that because there's a lot of detail for us to pull. And normally, Gemini, since you're an air sign, you work well with fire. So to me, it's like, all right, I can make this work, which is good. But on the back end, we have some water, which does cool off the fire a little bit. That's nice. But water is the realm of feelings and emotions, the inner world, creativity. It could also be partnerships, stuff like that. So someone might be going through it, even if you're not. Like with these energies on the back end, it's like, ooh, okay, what's that person going through, or what are they feeling? We're gonna have to look deeper into that. Now, water is usually very good, soft, and soothing, but at the same time, it can be very up and down. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the beautiful Temperance card with Archangel Michael depicted on it. So I thought that was great how the first Oracle card had a guardian angel. Now we have the Protector literally right here on the front. So even if things aren't ideal, even if things are a little choppy, even if they're mundane, there's just beautiful spiritual energy around the collective as a whole. So I think that's really great. Now, Temperance has a lot of good. And we see Archangel Michael here. He has the two cups, trying not to mess up the other cards. And he's doing some alchemy, right? He's alchemizing some sort of energy. A big thing with this card is literal temperance, patience. So Spirit might want you to hold off from something. Take your time with something. Be a little cautious. That's a big thing with the temperance card. Not much movement happening here. Um, to me, there's a lot going on under the surface, though. That's the big thing. Because although this card looks calm, he is doing alchemy, and especially with what we have here. So there might be situations you're dealing with, or even people where it might not look like much is happening, but in reality, there is when this card is here. Now, what's the challenge with a card like Temperance? Sometimes it could be impatience. So maybe there's certain things where it's like, yeah, I don't know if I have the patience for that. For another portion of you, it could represent speed bumps, blockages, feeling like something's not moving along, like delays and stuff like that. So we'll look into this much further. I love it for the spiritual protection, especially with what we have coming further within the reading. So we're going to get Archangel Michael tucked in right here by the amethyst as we move to our next card, the Five of Wands. Now, it's not all bad, but it is one of the cards that I always say you don't have to be an expert to understand what it means. You have five people, they all have wands in their hands, and they're battling it out, right? They're going to war. Now, a good thing about this card is the determination. So if that's an energy you're holding right now, great. It's an energy where it's like, can't stop, won't quit, won't give up. I like it for that. It's a very dedicated type of energy. But obviously, the challenges are clear to see. This could represent someone that's angry, feeling some type of way. This could represent conflict, very explosive, like we already discussed. So we want to look at this, whether it's a person or a situation. The energy seems very much unpredictable and up and down. So expect the unexpected, especially with the next two cards. And we'll talk more. I mean, I love the determination again with the Archangel Michael right next to it. It's like, okay, you might be insulated. Watch out for getting pulled into other people's stuff. That's a common theme I've been seeing through a lot of zodiac signs this week. Like, don't get pulled into other people's stuff. Now, on the back end, we have the Five of Cups. So, interestingly enough, we have the repeating fives. Now, in numerology, repeating fives represent rapid, quick change, where things do a quick 180 on you. So aside from the numerology, like just keep that in mind. You could be seeing signs and synchronicities more so than normal. But the Five of Cups, you see our friend there is dressed all in black. He looks quite sad, crying a river literally. So those feelings. So it's like angry, sad. It's like back and forth, mad, nervous. It's like an emotional roller coaster that seems to be going on with somebody. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. You know how life can be. Like sometimes there's good things, sometimes not so much. It's always that little give and take. The good thing about the Five of Cups, aside from the change, aside from all the River of Tears stuff we were already speaking about, is that it to me it feels like a bump in the road. Right? Notice there's still two cups that are standing in this card. There's still structures in the background. So it's like, all right, current situation, not the final destination, temporary. There could be something you're dealing with, even if it doesn't feel too comfortable, where Spirit might just be trying to reassure you, like, listen, this is only temporary. It's okay. Like, it's very reassuring to me. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on temperance? Let's see what that has. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, temperance. What do we got? Why is temperance here for my good friends? Yeah. Someone being very impatient. Okay, yeah, Three of Wands in reverse. So again, this is very similar to this very first Oracle card. So I'm going to repeat some of what I said. There is a challenge here, but this guy, remember I was speaking about manifesting, creation, watching over. This is very similar because the Three of Wands is a huge manifestation card where it's like something's almost here. So for some of you, this could be a really good message. Temperance, Three of Wands, where Spirit's like, it's almost here. So if you've been specifically praying for something, manifesting something, meditating on an outcome that you want, when I see this, that's a great sign where it's like the wait is almost over, or it's almost here, it's almost within grasp. However, the first thing I felt, the impatience. Somebody being very impatient. Again, it doesn't have to be you, but watch out for anybody trying to rush you or rush something. That should definitely like spark a little alarm if that happens in the near future. Okay, like temperance with the Three of Wands, it's like no, 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 don't rush it, don't rush it. Why are you pushing it before it's ready? That's how I feel here. It's like taking a cake out of the oven 5 minutes before you're supposed to. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. I feel like whether it's a good reassurance or it's spirit just saying like, hey, if anyone's pressuring you, if anyone's rushing you, that's no good. Let's keep moving. Again, we're not going to get hung up there. It is what it is. Let's see what the Five of Wands has. We're going to keep it moving here. Now we're getting into the shifting energy. So why is the Five of Wands here, my friends? Okay, the energy this week is extremely polarized because for a lot of you, I could see something like improving in a very, very big way, something calming down in a big way. But at the same time, if there are things, people, problems that have been persistent for a long time and you've been seeing patterns in it, uh, I'm seeing a flare up potentially. Like now, the Hierophant, that to me is very spiritual. So, again, very spiritually protected, which is great. Taurus energy, if you're connected to a Taurus, this could be them. Um, the Hierophant is ingrained. It represents, day to day life, day to day routine, traditional type of energy. It could speak about long term commitments or anything that's been lingering for a while. So when I see the Five of Wands with the Hierophant, this tells me, okay, this is either a problem that's been happening for a little bit. This is either a cycle or whatever it is doesn't feel new. Um, or this is stability coming in. Now, I guess it depends on what you're going through, right? Like when I see this energy, yeah, something great's coming in. Five of Wands with the Hierophant. Yeah, the energy's calming down. It's starting to settle. So it really depends on what's happening with you. For some of you, it's more challenging than others, that's for sure. Now, another thing I'm picking up is that energy is wanting to shift, but I don't know what's holding it back. There's something holding it back. It's like the energy wants to shift, but it can't, or the energy wants to shift, but something is holding it back from this change. Let's keep moving over to the Five of Cups. We'll see if we get any more detail. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadows. So let's get the Five of Cups going. Very intriguing how it's presenting. Like, because to me, it's like we're getting multiple stories shooting off here. So again, just take it however it hits. But why's the Five of Cups here? Huh. Okay. So we have the world in reverse. This fits a theme with what I saw for you a couple of weeks ago of things popping up, just like we saw here in the middle. So again, situations, problems. There's something about it that doesn't feel new. Because when I see this in reverse underneath the Five of Cups, it's like, here we go again. Same cycle. It's the same behaviors. You say this, you do something different. It's like one of those. Again, the energy is wanting to change, but I don't know why it keeps looping back to where it was. It's like there's something holding it in place. Now, the world is another karmic card, change based card. Usually in the upright, it's great. It's super cyclical. It represents change from one chapter to another. In reverse, it either represents things returning, flaring back up, or something that's unable to cross that finish line for whatever reason. So whether it's a person holding themselves back or just circumstances, it's like, the energy wants to shift, the energy wants to move forward, but it can't for whatever reason. It like just can't get out of its own way. There's just something about this cycle that keeps coming up, and it is a little bit frustrating. Another thing I was picking up here is definitely like little anxiety, nerves, anxiousness, and that could be because of the energetic gunkiness. So if you've been a little more on edge than you normally are, with all this energy, it's like energy wanting to go one way, but it's not being allowed to. That's going to form energetic friction and cause anxiety. That's how it's feeling to me. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So very straightforward again. Only take it how it hits for you. We had some really good stuff here, but then there's still like these little pressure points. But if you look here in the box, position number one, we start with temperance and the three of wands. For a lot of you, if you've been praying, manifesting, meditating on something, this is spirit saying like soon, soon, Gemini, all in due time. But watch out for anybody trying to rush you, rush a process, rush anything. Where it's like, no, 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 you just let it do what it does. Just let it go through the process it's going to go through. It might need to. Moving to the center, we have the Five of Wands with the Hierophant. Now, for some of you, this could be a problem that kind of sorts itself out or just starts getting better. I think that's great. But for another portion of you, it's like same old stuff. So whether it's a cycle, whether it's a person, like there's just something about it where it's like, here we go again. So watch out for any problems or situations that you might be dealing with where it's like, all right, it's like a blast of the past. I'm dealing with this again. And remember, your awareness can break cycles. The energy is wanting to shift, but there's something holding it back. Moving to the back end, we have the Five of Cups with the World in reverse, and it kind of reiterates what we see here in the front. The energy wanting to change, wanting to shift, and it's causing this energetic friction. So watch out for anxiousness, nervousness, whether it's on your behalf or somebody else. But to me, it's like, all right, here we go again. Like there's just some, so watch out for any things or cycles looping back around. Now, for some of you, that might be a good thing. Others, it might be extremely frustrating. So it depends. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a problem. Sometimes they could be good too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going. What do we got for Gemini in the shadow? Oh, okay, Ten of Wands. Bit of a heavy energy here. Okay, so for a lot of you, it's super important. Take care of the vessel, take care of the body. Specifically, if you're having like issues in the neck, back, and spine, this could be holding tension there. I always think about that with the Ten of Wands because it is quite heavy. Now, for another portion of you, you might just be tired of something or just getting a little burnt out. The good thing about this card is very similar to the Five of Wands, where it's like, I'm determined, I can't quit, I won't quit, I got to see this through. And I think that's an admirable trait, not giving up. But at the same time, the energy just feels really heavy. And for a lot of you, you just might need some time to recuperate your energy. Okay, that's a thing I think about with the shadow side of this because this is a burden, whether it's mental, emotional, physical. When this shows up in the shadows, it's like you need some time to rest and recuperate, or just let those juices start flowing again. So just take care of yourself. Very important. So we're going to leave it at that, Gemini. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and you'd like to have a little chat with me, you can book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You'll see my digital calendar is open for the month of November. They're filling up pretty quick, so if you'd like to have a chat, come over and see me. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of a lovely deck. It's fairly new. It's called Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It has a whole bunch of fluffy critters. It's really adorable. I think everyone would like it. So if you like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, since it is November, what are you most grateful for right now? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you soon.